to anywhere, anywhere. Better luck next time, so settle up and ride to anywhere, opening my mind, please come and visit. As you made it and you go insane. Beyond overthinking in an instant. Suddenly you're back where you began. Better luck next life, so saddle up and ride to anywhere, anywhere. Better luck next time, so saddle up and ride to anywhere, anywhere. Fellow armsmen, I ask you, will you follow me tonight to break their spine and reclaim what once was mine? Those cravens backstabbed me, deceived me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Oh, 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Oh, 15 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Runeterra Academy. We've got a banger series for you guys tonight in the senior class. My name is Ivar. I'm joined by TDS. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Excited. Last week, last playoff spot, a game that has the potential to be super good or super fiesta, but either it's fine with me. And I'm excited to get my first cast with you. I think second cast, Ivor. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
second.
I think it's the second cast. I think we might have casted, I might have popped in for an emergency cast somewhere, but
Yeah,
excited to have an official first cast with you. But
yeah.
yeah, like you mentioned, we have Redbird Club Varsity taking on Team Ambition Glory here. Both teams are 1-5 in the regular season. Winner of this game will qualify for playoffs, taking that sixth seed for senior class.
Yeah. And whoever, I'm not sure how it's supposed to go into this, but like you're saying, last spot, I think that it probably looking like the potential weakest team, but obviously, if you get into playoffs, anything can happen. So this is going to be a really, really important game for both of these teams. And I've heard that a lot of people think that it's probably much more favored towards CAG. I think that it's closer than what it initially may seem. So I think that this has the potential to go all the way into the 3-game series. But like you're seeing from the side of TAG, with the bans, it's not that they are fearful of these champions. They lose all bans today because they have 2 ESOPs. So sadly, we're going to see some bans that make no sense and that they wouldn't have ideally liked to have, but they will have to use those because they don't have any bans.
Like you mentioned, those 2 ESUBs coming in for the side of TAGA. Sorry, not TAGA, just TAG. It is their mid laner and ADC that are being subbed out. So as a result, they lose those first 5 bans. So Redbird Club Varsity is able to, get the pick of the litter there of what champion they wanted on that B1 pick, and they opt for the Xin Zhao. And in response, Team Ambition pick up that Elise, the early game tempo jungler for themselves.
Yeah, and at least it's a champion that we have seen a couple already in the senior class. I think just last week we had an Elise. Not 100% sure if it's from the same team. I remember seeing Elise and failing miserably to deliver. So I hope that TAG has a better way to playing around this Elise, because Elise is a jungler that is really, really feast or famine. And in comparison to other junglers that fall into the same category, she's even worse. Because if she doesn't get really far ahead in a really small period of time, she can just never get to a point where she's really strong. But at least they're pairing her with Miss Fortune, a champion that has such a good ultimate and that is much more prevalent right now in the meta. So I'm really excited to see how they perform with the Miss Fortune and see what they pair the Miss Fortune with, because Redbird answered with a Nautilus, which means that there's no Yumi potential coming from the side of Redbird. And Yumi is still open. Yumi, one of the more prevalent champions in the meta right now, as seen in Worlds. So I'm surprised that we haven't seen that the Yumi focus from Redbird. And also Ashe, an AD carry that hasn't seen much play either. But getting paired here with Nautilus and Xinjiao makes me think that there's probably going to be a lot of damage on the top side from Redbird.
Yeah. Redbird opting for that CC bot lane, that agency, to help, stop that Misfortune ult that we've been seeing so prevalent in a lot of these team fights throughout a lot of the leagues. I think it's one of the strongest ADC picks right now. And getting paired with that Leona there for Team Ambition, definitely a strong bot lane and a strong pressure point on the map. But I think Redbird has a solid bot lane themselves to respond to that. They have the disengage, they have the poke, they have the engage if they would like, to deal with the MF Leona in the early game.
Yeah, and I think most people like more the Leona than the Nautilus right now, because even though they are, I think, equal in terms of being able to engage and getting down on some targets, I think that Leona does a much better job of surviving what Nautilus probably sometimes fails to do, especially because, if I'm not wrong, the shield in the W scales with health, and Nautilus doesn't realistically have that much access into health because he's going to the support position, so you kind of lose a lot of resistances, and Leona can just do a way better job of face front tanking what the enemy wants to do than the Nautilus, and that may be a weakness that TAG may try and take advantage of in the bottom lane, and trying to face check into the river as well, because the least one of the things that she does provide is when you try to face check certain places, the cocoon is going to come in massive, and if you have enough damage, you can burst out someone. Out someone else.
Yeah, exactly. You touched on it perfectly. The CC chain and the early game potential for the side of TAGA is, I keep saying TAGA, my apologies. TAG is phenomenal. The reason why I keep saying TAGA is they have another team in Runeterra named TAGA, but nonetheless, the Irelia being hovered, and it's going to be actually locked in. Yeah, locked in here for TAG, for Team Ambition Glory. Flex, we don't know where that's going just yet. It could go top, it can go mid.
I think it's most unlikely going top, but I think it's an answer to the Irelia. I don't think it's the best. It's a matchup that has a clear-cut advantage for either, but I think that Tahm Kench just survives so effectively those kinds of matchups that he can really just be sent there and answer the Irelia. But like you're saying, with the Irelia still being a flex potential pick in the mid and top lane, the Tahm Kench can really realistically answer both. But now with the Castling, I think that it's going to be a top lane Tahm Kench and a Castling mid. Although there was a period of time a couple of years ago, I don't remember seeing one Castling on top lane, if not for a long period of time, but there was a time when Castling top wasn't actual.
Yeah, I don't think I think Team Ambition want to put this Irelia mid into the Kassadin. That does not sound like a bad matchup.
Yeah.
And then they have counter pick for the top lane here, which is going to be that Camille locked in for that R5. Good pick, but I feel like Tahm Kench kind of neutralizes both Camille and Irelia in the lane. So Tahm Kench should be fine. I think this is the Kassadin that we would have to be worried about.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that Camila and Irelia, like we were saying previously with the Tahm Kench, it's not that it's a bad matchup or anything like that. It's just that Tahm Kench kind of naturally neutralizes a lot of the champions. So you pretty much can just farm comfortably, and as long as you don't die or nothing bad happens, you're going to have an easy time laning wise. But in the mid lane, Irelia against the Kassadin, if it's a matchup that they send the Irelia to, which I think it should, like you were saying previously, I think that it can just get so out of control because one of Kassadin's weaknesses is fighting against AD champions. Melee AD champions, I think, are the much more problematic ones, because not only do they get kind of tanky, but they have so many ways to stop the Kassadin if they have CC or enough burst damage to take advantage of. And I think that Irelia is one of the perfect champions to put against Kassadin. And if the Irelia gets just one kill, the Kassadin can just get completely dumpstered. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup and a hard matchup to a certain degree for Redbird. But if they are able to pilot around it, they have a really solid late game composition with the Kassadin being the main focus.
Yeah. The one thing I do want to point out here, this Camille that's been locked in, it's kind of a top lane pick that we see picked into a lot of these mobile AP mid assassins. We've seen it come up in priority into the LeBlanc that's been picked at Worlds a lot, because later in the game, these champions with this high mobility become really slippery. They just go in, poke damage, and try to get out. And the Camille ultimate later in the game is going to be really crucial to make sure Kassadin can't do that slippery in and out playstyle that he likes to do. So we have to watch out for that in some of these later mid to late game team fights. If the Hextech ultimatum is going to be used on Kassadin, they can burst him down pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a point that I didn't think about much, so I'm glad you bring it up, because like you're saying, the Hextech Ultimatum is one of the abilities that if you're able to get on top of someone, it's really, really hard to escape. And the fact that Kassadin is so dependent on that mobility to be able to get damage done and survive, it's going to be crucial. And also one of the things that this allows as well is if they get on top of the Kassadin with the Hextech Ultimatum, they have enough CC to back up the CC potential on the Kassadin and be able to not allow him to teamfight at all. So that is one of the avenues that I see from TAG to be able to get a good hold of the game and get a lead, or even be able to win the game through this win condition. I think that the Misfortune and the Rarely are going to play pivotal roles in this game with the damage that they will deal, but certainly it's going to fall onto the Camille, the Lisa, and the Leona to control the Kassadin enough so that he cannot be a menace.
Yeah, I think a lot of this early game is going to be the early game will decide pretty much how this game goes. If Elise can get something going early and start snowballing her team, and keep Kassadin behind, it's going to be phenomenal for Team Ambition here. If they can't get that happen and Redbirds are able to, be safe and start scaling towards that late game with Kassadin getting those levels in, not getting punished, getting some CS, then I want to say the mid to late game is favored towards Redbird. So a lot of it will be dependent on how Elise maneuvers throughout this early game on Summoner's Rift.
Yep. I don't like the pick a lot. I gotta be honest, I really hate right now the state of Elise, because before, I think that even before this season, there was an argument that you could do to try and play around Elise. But I think that everything has just going slowly but surely against anything that Elise ever wanted to become. And right now, she's one of the worst, if not possibly the worst jungle, I think, in the game. I just think that what she has become right now, it's so predictable and controllable in comparison to what other junglers provide. And I think that her potential as a champion, it's really determined by a lot of things that need to go wrong instead of her doing an actual good job. So I think that at least right now it's honestly such a bad champion, but there's a possibility, because if you get a lead, there a lot of things can get hide. You can hide a lot of things. So if the Elise is able to pilot the early game and there's a lot of mistakes coming through that she can capitalize on, then it can look positive for TAG, and they can try and snowball as heavily as possible to win the game.
Yeah. I will say the jungler has quite a bit of game zone Elise, so they're comfortable in the champion, and sometimes comfort outweighs that meta. So I'm excited to see if they can prove us wrong here and get some early game ganks off and start the engine for TA. And I think pretty much that's pretty much how these compositions are going to interact. There's not much more to touch on, right?
Yeah, no, I think that the only thing left is to see what happens into the rip with these compositions.
Yeah, so with that being said, we are going to cut it to a quick break here while we wait out spectator delay. Do not click away from that browser. We'll be back here shortly for game 1 of this best of 3 series.
Summing up all the fortune of the realm. Call on our saviors to wipe out the traitors. The earth trembles as we gather ashore for the lands we swear to own. For our kingdom
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got game one of this best of three series here. Team Ambition Glory on the red side taking on Redbirds Club Varsity on the blue side. My name is Ivar. I am joined by TDS. How you doing, buddy? What do you think of these level ones? We see a 3-stack coming out potentially for Team Ambition.
Yeah, on one side we see the 3 stack from the side of TAG. I would have liked to put the Leona with the 4 members. I think that they have a potential could invade or counter invade in case something was tried by the side of the Redbirds. Oh wait,
Audacious Charge come out from the Xin Zhao there, chunking out the Elise a little bit, denying that ward that these junglers like to get.
yeah. It's mainly on the pixel push that they usually like the words. But one of the things that I didn't like that much from the Xinjiao is the word that he left behind. Not because it's in a really obvious position, but and it's going to get cleared out by the Oracle lens from the list. But it's also because it realistically doesn't give that much information when you actually want to track the jungler. So it's not the best of words to utilize against the list. But still, it's a really nice way to kind of send a message from the Xinjiao, like you cannot enter this part of the map if I'm around.
Like this, the sweeper comes out, gonna clear this ward and give the solo laners that XP advantage,
Ooh.
potentially pushing that
Yeah.
early level 2 for this Irelia and Camille.
Yeah, it's not as much as some would like, but certainly it can make a little bit of a difference, especially if the Aurelia is ever in a position where she can try and all in at level 2 the Cassadin, which is something that can happen. So it can be important, and in top lane as well with the longer lane, it can also be something that you have to keep in mind about.
Yeah, I'm assuming the side of Redbirds realizes that the Irelia, I mean, excuse me, that the Elite started red side after that sweep. On solo, no leash. We see a potential gank brewing from Xin Zhao down here,
Oh,
but everything's been pretty
level
standard.
2.
Early trading, level 2 comes out like we mentioned in the mid lane. We see the flash audacious charge come out, but the insta stun from Leona here in the bot lane, and the flash is going to be burned, and the heal going to be burned by Nobly here for Team Ambition.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see the instantaneous flash, the flash from the Xinjiao. Not because it's bad to prompt the flash early or wait. Oh, Kazan is. Oh, he survived.
Low, and he lives there. Never
Ooh.
saw tanks 2 tower shots, but there's a potential gank brewing here in the mid lane and counter gank. We're going to see the Xin Zhao come in here. Same with the Elise. Nothing too crazy thus far, but I think this is a product of potentially the Kassadin sort of disrespecting the on
Yeah,
the rune choices and the itemization. You know, starting that Doran's ring, not opting for sustain, and not opting for that defensive tree secondary, going for that domination. So getting punished
yeah.
for it here in the early game.
Yeah, but even apart from those things, it's also the way that he was playing the lane phase. If you see at the start, he got the first 2 minions, which is not inherently bad, but the wave was kind of pushed, so he kind of had to misposition himself. And then when he knows that even though he knows that they really has the potential to go all in at level 2, he still walks too far forward and gets all in. So overall, it's just misunderstanding of how you need to play around this kind of matchup, especially as a Kassadin. You have to respect the potentials from the AD champions because they can destroy you. But like you were saying, it's also with the fact that of all the other things mixed in that he kind of gets punished much more. And also one of the things that I really like that happened for the side of TAG is the fact that they kind of forced the Xin Zhao to be in the vicinity to protect the Kesarin from a potential dive, and that means that he had to share XP in a situation where he realistically doesn't want that to happen. So a little bit of an advantage as well coming through that place.
This is not good. The lane is frozen in the mid lane, so here comes the Zinzao to help break that freeze, but Elise is behind them.
This is behind,
Yeah, they
but the
can
wave is too
potentially
huge.
go for something here. See the dashing coming out from Neversoft. Flawless Duet is going to come out. Is the stun going to
Oh.
land? It does land. And
Oh, really?
Justin
Oh.
Dozer is going to be caught out here. Does not have the flash. Cassian is going to be going down. First Blood going over to Elise. Nice rotation coming out from the bot lane of Team Ambition as well.
Yeah, and I really like the timing. We were panning before the play happened. We panned over bot lane a little bit, and the wave was getting pushed. So they were kind of prompting this up even before the play goes in the middle lane. In the mid lane, but like you were saying, the wave was so big. I was kind of worried because of the size of the wave if the gank could work out, but knowing that the rest of the members were coming as well, it was a much easier gank to execute, and they killed the Kassadin at the first blood. I'm not sure if it's better if it had gone to the Irelia or the Elise, but either of these champions getting first blood, it's still beneficial, so it's not the worst of news in any way.
Neversoft needs to be careful. It's pretty low here. Might look for potential 2v2 here. They're going to go for this potential fight brewing here. Electrocute's going to be procced here from the Elites.
Ooh,
But nothing too crazy. Actually, they're going to go in. Neversaw is going to be caught out. Silence does come out. You see the repel come out from Elise. Elise is going to go in and get knocked up there. Neversaw's playing with fire. You see the spider come out.
No.
And the kill is going to be picked up there by the Zinzao with that wind becomes lightning at max range, tagging up Neversaw, equalizing the kills here at 1-1.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly before Neversaw died. He was playing with fire, and he got burned at the end. Burn, baby, burn. He ends up dying and giving away a kill for the Xin Zhao. Even though they did such a good job to try and put down the Kassadin, they still now give away a kill. Luckily, it didn't go to the Kassadin, because I think that if the Kassadin gets the kill, then everything that they try to do gets completely neutralized. Oh wait, level 6 hit it?
6 in the top lane. We see some engaging coming out. We see the Abyssal Dive come out. Going to be
Camille
dodged away here by the Camille. He's going to get
Shin.
eaten up here, but I don't think it's going to be enough damage. Zinzao is here, though. Hextech Ultimatum comes out, and the Camille is in danger. One more. Oh, but the hookshot comes out, and he does get away to safety there.
That was really, really, really close. And Bernier is playing that as well as he could after overcommitting a little bit. I think that the Devourer was certainly unexpected, but oh wait.
Sweat lands
Oh,
here, but I never
Neversaw.
saw it. Going to go in. You're going to use the ultimate onto Zinzao. Zinzao's going to flash away here. And Neversaw needs to be careful. There's 3 members collapsing on him here, but it's a level 5 Kassadin.
Yeah.
Level 5 Kassadin is not scary at all. He knows there's no ultimate for the Tom Kench as well. So this scuttle should be secured by the side of Team Ambition.
Oh.
Ooh, Cocoon lands,
hit.
but no follow-up.
Yeah, nice hit. At least they get the style points on hitting the cocoon of the Xin Zhao, but yeah, certainly not taking the most advantage of the play. And this is one of the counter facts of what has been happening in the mid lane and why the kill not going to the Kassadin was important. The fact that he's still level 5, and I'm not, he just stinked level 6, but he was behind on the level 6 potential, and that makes the play for the Scuttle Crab much harder. Also, the Camille was already teleported towards top lane, so it was going to be hard to fight against a Camille that was already
lands,
back in top lane.
Yeah, but these flawless duets, if they land, we just see that
Yeah.
Rift Wall come out. I do want to touch on the point here that the bot side jungle is now up for Redbirds, and the top side jungle is up for TAG, excuse me. So they're playing opposite sides of the map right now in terms of junglers. So I'm expecting some sort of maybe Dragon Rift Herald trade coming up here or something, because they're on the opposite side of the map. But as I say that, Elise is rotating down here, so maybe I'm wrong. But a Abyssal Dive comes out in the top lane. Burnus needs to disengage this, but has that Q2 available, dodges out on that Tongue Lash. Hookshot going to be used by the Camille, and just a normal trade pattern here.
Yeah, but the Camille has been getting the best out of those trades with the Tahm Kench, even though Tahm Kench is kind of the one that is forcing those trades. At the end, it's the Camille that gets the better of it, and I really like how Bernice has been playing this. Sometimes maybe a little bit too over-aggressive, but he has been doing the correct things around with his Camille. With the Shin now, we can see the amount of damage that he can do to the Tahm Kench, and the fact that he uses the second part of the Qs, which is the most effective against stacks, against tanks so effectively in lane, it's making him win those trades in the top lane. Also, a quick thing that I want to touch on in the bottom lane, it's we have been panning a lot, but obviously because there's not that much action, we don't speak that much of bottom lane. But I really like what the Ashe and the Nautilus has been doing with keeping the wave closer to their turret. Oh wait,
Tank here.
oh
They're
he's
gonna
dead.
3-man collapse onto the Tom Kencher. Flawless Duet lands. Hextech ultimate gonna be used, and he's gonna go down here. And just like I thought, they're on opposite sides of the map trading stuff.
Yeah, it's a really nice trade. I think that it favors much more the side of TAG just because they valued getting kills and getting tempo advantage much more than the side of Redbirds. The Drake is great for Redbirds because they can now get a clear win condition, and if the game gets too fast paced for them, then they can just slow it down and not be worried about Drakes that much.
Yeah, potential dive brewing here in the bot lane here. The Misfortune Leona need to be careful,
That'd
but
be
the
hard.
recall is being channeled by Xin Zhao, so nothing too crazy.
Would have been a hard dive to execute. It's against Misfortune Leona, and even if you get with the Kassadin down there, Kassadin is not yet still that strong, especially because he doesn't have any bait of it. Like he went Warden's Mail, so he doesn't deal that much damage right now.
Yeah, but I feel like now that the bot lane of TAG is both level 6, they have some kill potential here, and they should
Yeah.
probably start looking proactively. I think the earlier levels, Ashe and Nautilus can look for some short trades, but now that the level 6 comes out, the Wombo combo potential is there. That Solar Flare
Especially
into
against
that
an Ashe,
bullet
right?
time. Yeah, especially into the Ashe. Ashe does have cleanse and flash, but you know, you just rinse and repeat. You use your combo once, burn the summoners, and then do it once it's up again.
Kind of thinking if what the Leaf has been doing, even though she's gotten 2 kills and all that. If oh
Sorry,
wait,
staggered. Yep, and the stun does come out. They're gonna go into Frank the Tank here. The stun comes out. Solar Flare comes out. Nautilus ults early. They're not stopping the bullet time. Bullet time comes out, and that's gonna be a kill being picked up. The last tick of Ignite picks it up here for Leona, and that's a 1 kill being picked up in that 2v2 bot lane.
yeah, you talked about this, the potential to go all in onto one of the targets. We were thinking a little bit more about the Ashe being the one that is susceptible, but taking a really nice timing, they see the Ashe backing, they also have the Envision, the Nautilus, and they take full advantage of that. I really like that play from the bottom lane, from the side of TAG, and getting a really nice advantage for themselves down there without the help of Elise, and also for the Misfortune, which I think that now that I'm seeing that she's going for the Lethality build, I think that it's the better build. And the fact that she's going for that means that it's not that pricey, so she will have such a huge power spike. In the next 2 to 3 minutes, she will be able to deal a lot of damage. Oh,
Arrow comes out into the bot lane here, but they have everything up. They're gonna just be able to walk away here, and I think Ashe is just using
good
that
attempt.
CC to stop the recall. They are forcing the bot lane to stay on the map or miss some wave.
It's a cute attempt, I think. It's mainly like you're saying to stop them from backing, but and Xinjiao is not even in close proximity, so there shouldn't be that much happening there.
Yeah. One thing I do want to touch on is
Cool.
this double armor being built up by the Kassadin, going for that first Frozen Heart first item. It looks like actually starting to respect the damage that can come out from Never Saw here.
Yeah, I think that it makes sense with the respect both Youngers in the mid lane and support coming as well. So
Yeah, potential fight brewing here. We see the Audacious Charge
shit.
coming out. Flawless Duet lands into the cocoon. Never Saw is going to completely delete. Oh, look at Sam. Then Zao goes down. Exhaust going to be burned onto Never Saw. Never Saw is going to go forward. He has the dashes. Still has the Vanguard's, Vanguard Edge was used, but does pick up that double kill nonetheless. And tragedy in the mid lane for the side of Redbirds.
yeah, and it's going to be 3 plates. Oh wait. Oh,
The Flash Flawless Duet comes out, but the
They get
Flash
the
is going to
kill.
respond to the Cuckoo comes out, and they're going to DPS down the Kassadin. Kassadin goes down, and Elise is snowballing here. This is what we were talking about in the pregame. If Elise can start snowballing here, this is going to be really, really difficult for the side.
Oh, and
and we're going to see more fighting here, and TAG want that playoff spot. They're doing everything on all sides of the map. Maybe even the top lane, maybe some fighting going to be coming out. But we do see the Hextech ultimatum to drop the tower aggro, but the last whip comes out, the auto's available, and that's going to be a kill picked up, solo kill picked up for Tom Kencher in the top lane.
Don't you love Tim Ken?
Yeah. Has that Abyssal Dive, it's going to get out too into safety.
What a great and interactive champion Tam Kenchi is. No, but in reality, I think that Belzebub's played that really well, getting the Devourer under the turret, getting as much damage as possible with Vernice. Because in normal situations, Vernice probably wins that 1v1, but with the extra 8 from the turret, he gets a kill. But all over the map, it's still complete another destruction from the side of THE. They get the kill in the mid lane with a great response by the Elise. And one thing that I haven't mentioned much, apart from hating Elise and the like, but one thing that the Elise has been really good at is keeping Vision up in the top side of the map. And the Xinjiao walked in blindly without knowing that there was Vision up from the side of TAG, gets collapsed from Fog of War by the Elise, and gets killed by the two of them, by the Elise and the Irelia, in a situation that was setting up to be a 3v2 in favor of Redbird. So really well played by them, and now putting the Cassidy certainly in the dumpster with those two kills and the turret in the mid lane as well. I think it was 5 plates.
Yeah, it was full 5 plates, donated over towards the mid lane here. Never saw us immensely ahead of everybody on the map. I'm pretty sure they're the richest person right now. They have that Blade of the Rune King already completed, plated steel caps. We see the double mythic, triple mythics being completed for the side of TAG. So their wallets are definitely more filled more than the side of Redbirds here. So this dragon shouldn't even be contested.
Yeah, no chance. There's, like you're saying, the mythic difference, but also the controlling the map difference. They have the open mid lane turret, as well as the Cassidy is just a non-factor still. He went for Frozen Heart first item, which ideally makes him much more tanky against Irelia, but it means that his damage is negligible in comparison to other champions. So he right now shouldn't look into fighting. I think what he's doing is fine. Just hope that nobody dies in the rest of the map, and you can just keep on farming. But okay, I was thinking that maybe they were looking into killing the Tam Kench, looking at the Irelia, but they're taking a little bit longer to go for that.
Yeah, I think Irelia might be panning up here. Pings are coming out, 3-man collapse in the top lane here. Hextech ultimatum is available, it's going to be used, and can't get out of that, buddy. You're going to be stuck out here. Cocoon doesn't land. Abyssal dive is going to be used. Vanguard Edge comes out. They're going to wait out the shield a little bit, but the DPS is there. The dash has come out. Never saw. Picks up that kill. He's on a killing spree here. Potential brewing in the bot lane here. We see the Xin Zhao coming down. Nautilus can't go for this hook. He knows he's in that bush. And the angle is there. The flash auto comes out. The arrow does not ring true, but Nico does get caught out here. Leona does go down, exhausted.
Irelia TP
here. Irelia TP's in, but Noobly's going to get DPS down. The bullet time does not do enough. Never saw us here. Cannot pick up the trade kill. Not in range for that last auto. Is getting slowed. And nice response on the other side of the map by the side of Redbird here.
Yeah, that was really close to Colossus getting a kill onto Never saw getting a kill onto Colossus, and that makes the trade a little bit better from the side of Redbirds, but like from the side of TAG, but Redbirds taking full advantage of what happened to the top lane, seeing that there were 3 members. I think that they also knew that the Camille TP'd towards top lane in a previous play, so they knew that they had the opportunity to be able to pull it off, and they pulled it off as well as they could, getting 2 kills and nobody dies. They even get the teleport from the Irelia, so overall great play and great capitalization by the Redbirds.
Yeah, they do get something back on the map, still signs of life for them here. What they need to do here is they need to try to pick some of these shutdowns up off the Elise, off the Irelia, use their CC and damage that they have as a multiple person unit, but potential collapse here. Hook does not ring true there, and Bernice is able to just use that hook shot to safety.
Yeah, but I think that
Nautilus,
even though
gotta be careful.
Nautilus
actually, careful. He's gonna get caught out here. The stun is gonna come out from Leona. Does still have that Zenith Blade. Zenith Blade comes out. Rank that tank is not too tanky here. Gonna get DPS down. Kill donated over to Noobly. Wallace Duet predict on the Rift Wall. Beautifully played by Neversaw. And we potential for another kill here. Yeah. Elise still has the repel. Does not opt to use it there.
Oh wait.
And we see some more fighting on the top side here. Furnace going in. Zenith Blade does come out. Bullet time is available. Solar Flare comes out. They're opting to not use the bullet time.
Greatly done.
And actually, bullet time was not available. Excuse me, but the trade kill does not come out. How much HP does that Leona have? Double-digit arrow comes out, does not land here. Actually, made him into the bullet time. He's blocking the bullet time damage, but you can't block that Q3 damage coming out from Camille here, and Ash is going to try to clean this up, but needs to be careful. You're just an ADC in 2021. You're going to get DPS down instantly. The burst comes out from the Camille, and 3 1v1s in a row, 3 1v3s in a row. Oh, the tower does pick up the kill, and Ash is gonna get some gold back for their team.
They were playing the controversial one at a time strat, just walking down after the Nautilus dies. They just walked in and trying to get a response kill, but it was just so bad from Redbirds to try and respond in that way. They know that in bot lane there was a play coming through, but they are still really weak. Like they are trying to play with a Tamkins that doesn't have a mythic, a Xin Zhao that even though has a mythic, it's one level behind from the list, and he doesn't have the level 2 ultimate. The Ashe is an Ashe. Like she can be a really good supportive AD carry, but she is not a Samira that can go for the highlight plays. Like in that situation, maybe another AD carry can pull through, but the Ashe is not one of those. And it's just nice presence wrapped beautifully for the side of TAG to take full advantage of, and they do that. They are getting a much higher gold lead than what I think they would have had if the side of Redbirds can keep themselves controlled. Because I think that, and I was going to criticize this, I think that TAG needed to push the issue much more against the Kassadin and against the AD carries. Ooh.
Flash Play doesn't ring true, but the Solar Flare does. The cleanse is going to be used here by Colas on this Ashe to get to safety. And Flash for Summoner, yeah, Summoner for Summoner going to be burned there.
Oh, Arrow?
Arrow comes out, proactive play coming out from the side of ISU here. Abyssal Dive does come in. They're going to try to do this fight, but they're right into the Bullet Time. Bullet Time does get stopped, but there's a lot of damage that had come out. Irelia still not here. This is a 4v5, and the side of
they can't even kill. Okay, they get
Team
the
Ambition Glory are winning this 4v5 pretty convincingly. Irelia finally tagging in on the backside, but they're going to use that Tech Stack Ultimatum, just like I mentioned, onto Cassid, and he can't get out of that with his Rift Wap, and that's going to be an ace. And I think
just as Baron spawned.
Yeah, Baron spawns. I think this is Baron Dragon, and honestly, I think it might be a little bit too late for ISU. Looking at their composition here, you have a Frozen Heart Cassidin and you have a Shield Bow Ashe. You really don't have the damage on your composition when you're behind, and right now this game is old Team Ambition Glory.
Yeah, and the thing is that the way that they were drafting made it seem like they were going to go for a really heavy topside damage, really topside heavy damage team, but they drafted the Tam Kench and then the Kassadin. The Kassadin is great, but the Tam Kench is not what you think about from a damage perspective. And the fact that you're so far behind in this spot in the game, with the Ashe being your probably main source of damage right now because the Kassadin is not that strong, means that you have to be much more careful about how you try to play around. And realistically, cannot look to go for aggressive plays, and Ashe, I think, is dead.
From the Camille here, going to look at one shot here. Q3 is available. Is it going to come out? Yeah, Q3 comes out.
Double
beast. Double TP coming out from ISU here in the bot lane here. But I don't think it matters. Hook comes out.
They want to fight this really?
Yeah, this fight is looking good for the side of Team Ambition. Double kill going to be picked up by the Camille. Elise picks up a kill for themselves. I think double inhib should go down here. We have Irelia pushing the mid lane there by
I think they can
themselves.
push for game.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they look to end the game here with this Baron.
Well, actually, looking at death timers, 10 seconds for Ashe, so maybe they try to stay a little bit more reserved. But it just seems... Oh, wait, Kassadin?
Yeah, Kassadin's going to get caught out in that Hextech Ultimatum, and I keep mentioning it, he can't get out of that until the Camille is pushed out, but we see the Crescent Strike to push the Camille out of that. Gonna let Kassadin live here. Double inhibs are down, maybe even 3 they're gonna go for it. I don't know if they want to go for the end here yet. I think you're right, the dead timers are too low. Ashe Arrow does come out, the hook does come out, but here comes that bullet time, DPSing down the team. Leona does go in. Beautiful Solar Flare onto multiple members. 2 kills going to be picked up here. At least picks that up with the AoE damage on her W. Bernice is deep here, looking for the Ashe, getting slowed and kited here. Will they be able to get it? Still alive. Gets the Sunder heal. Doesn't go down. And Nubly is going to get DPS down here. Probably just go down. Ashe just picked that up. We do see the never saw dive the fountain here. But this surely has to be game, right? TDS?
I don't think they can fail. Okay, maybe? Can they kill the Tamkench? Yes. Okay, now it is. I wasn't sure if they can kill the Tamkench, but now I'm
but the dead timers are so low. Nautilus is up here. Xin Zhao is up right after. Are they gonna go for it?
I think they want to fight.
Yeah, I don't think they have the damage to deal with
Camille.
Minions. Camille does have that grass proc. Gonna go in, use the grass prop, dodges the hook. Does pick up the kill, gonna look for Frank the tank here.
Kassadin should kill her, right?
Kassadin should kill, but Kassadin doesn't have any damage. Hookshot does not go into anything. Third Q comes out, double kill, big stick, ultimatum comes out, gonna flash out. Finally, the Rift Walk is gonna be used, and Shutdown gonna be picked up here for the Kassadin.
Yeah, okay, it took more than I thought it would take, but they take down the Camille, and uh, the shutdown went to the Kassadin so positive, I guess, but realistically, no inhibitors up. You have a Kassadin that is nowhere near late game, and an Ashe that doesn't deal that much damage. And you see, and in comparison, you have an Irelia with 3 items, a Camille with two items that is waiting to buy because she has 2,900 gold in the inventory now. 3 item Camille, and it's just a one last push from the side of TAG. I expect. Like, if they cannot win this game with how the game is right now, then this has to be one of the biggest throws I've seen in
Yeah.
Senior. If it
We, we
happens.
we didn't even mention it. The top inhibitor tower and inhibitor went down to minions
Yeah,
during that whole exchange. So 3 inhibitors down, no Nexus towers. You're down 15,000, 17,000 gold here.
quick
My
maths.
math could be wrong here.
Quick math.
16,000 gold here. This I want to say this is unlosable, but I'm on the side of ISU to see if they can pull some miracles out. But it's looking pretty doomed here.
The
TDS, I'm gonna
last
be
ditch effort.
honest.
Oh,
Arrow comes out. They're gonna pick out the misfortune here. Missile dive comes out. They're gonna pick up that kill. Good look coming out from ISU. Can they have any more follow up? But we do see the ultimate coming out from Neversaw.
oh.
4-man flawless duet actually comes out. Doesn't ring true. Kassadin is gonna go down here. No, is actually still alive here. Hextech ultimate gonna be used. Kassadin gonna go for another kill, but the Zonius is gonna be used here by Elise, and I think it's a little bit too late for ISU.
Yeah.
Good last ditch effort from them there. The side of THG are just looking for that last couple
No,
kills
they
to
didn't
stat
get the
their
kill.
pad their stats, but the kill does not come through, and game one goes over to Team Ambition Glory.
Yeah, and what a dominant performance by TAG. Not only because we need to remember this, they are sorry for that. They are playing this game with 2 ESOPs, and they dominated this game in such a fashion. Like, there were so many good things that they did in this game. The movements around the jungle, a jungle that I think it's one of the worst junglers. They moved around the list really effectively. They utilize the early game power spike that she does provide and the potential to turn around ganks with the list really well. They also waited their time with the bottom lane and won a 2v2 after they were really, really strong, playing around Vision really well. Bernice completely dominating top lane in a matchup that I don't think it's favorable for anyone. I think that the Camille played so well and it allowed for the snowball to keep on going through. But I also think that there were failures from the side of Redbirds. I think that they have a clear plan, but the plan kind of fell off really, really, really early on with Gasling dying really badly and then giving away a double kill and a turret. I also think that itemization wise, even though I don't think the Frozen Heart is a bad idea, I think that you lose way too much as Gasling. First of all, not going for lost chapter item because I think that Rhythmaker, even though it's not bad, Kassadin is really dependent, and not having the lost chapter can be really detrimental for him. And then also delaying your mythics for so long kind of made the game be stale for the Kassadin, even much more so than it usually is for him, and him not being able to achieve that much. So I think that it's a lot of bad things happening for Redbirds, but a lot of bigger quantity of good things happening for the side of TAG.
Yeah, I think going into this next game here, Redbird needs to adjust their draft a little bit, make sure they have enough damage in case they do get behind. They had the scaling for sure here and had the CC, but if you're behind into the composition they were playing into, it's almost unplayable, and that's what we saw here. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit of a bruiser top in this game one instead of the Tom Kench to make sure that you have some of that damage that could be missing if you do get behind. But nonetheless, they did have some good looks in that game. But for the most part, it was Team Ambition Glory taking over the map, like you mentioned. Sides are going to switch here, so let's see what comes out for game two. So we're going to cut it to a quick break while we get the lobby set up, and we will be back for game two draft here in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for game 2 of this best of 3 series. Sides have switched. Team Ambition Glory are on the blue side, taking on Redbird Club. Varsity on the red side. My name is Ivar. I'm joined by TDS. You ready for this game 2 draft, TDS?
Well, after the first game one, I'm expecting to see a lot of changes, mainly because we are not going to see neither the Least nor the Aurelia, so adaptations have to come through 100%.
Yeah. And just to point out for the spectators here, Team Ambition Glory did lose their first 3 bans here. They lost 5 last game, but one of their players have returned, so they only have 1 e-sub for this game 2. So they will have their second rotation bans. But we see that Misfortune being locked in, something that we've seen rise in priority here as Worlds has started.
Yep, and I think it makes complete sense. I really like Misfortune as an AD carry. I think that she was strong previously, but I like that teams finally noticed that she can be strong, and the fact that the ultimate became better makes it so much more valuable to have the Misfortune. And she also kind of works like the previous barriers, like a couple of patches ago, where you can go either lethality or crit, and it's still going to be valuable as a champion overall. So it's great to see adaptations not only as a champion but inside of the game against certain compositions. Redbird answering with the Ezreal and Thresh, I think that Ezreal makes sense. Self-billing AD carry, and one of the things that was so hard in the previous game for the Ashe was trying to reposition herself so that there was nothing bad happen.
Yeah, I agree. I like these first 2 picks being picked, but the response coming out here is the Rakan for Team Ambition. I don't like the Rakan into the Thresh too much. You know, you can flay that engage pretty convincingly, especially at this elo. I would hope that most people can flay it, but nonetheless, you don't always pick Rakan for lane. Rakan is huge teamfight presence as well as huge roamer, and we see the Lilia lock in here. I like that Team Ambition Glory. They did this last game, and they're doing it this game too. They make sure their damage profile is set in the first 3 picks. Last game they had the Misfortune and Elise. In this game they had the Misfortune and Lilia. So now their next 2 picks, they can really pick whatever they want. They can go double AD, they can go double AP, they can go 1-1. It doesn't matter. They're not pigeonholed into making sure that they need to pick a certain damage profile. But the Cinder response.
Yeah, and also one of the things that I like with this kind of pick is the fact that it allows for them to counter pick into their solo lane. Because, well, the Syndra is now already picked, but now, even if the Syndra wasn't picked here, in the next phase of picks, it was going to be either the top lane or the mid lane, allowing for one of their solo laners to have a better time in the lane. And I think that TAG, based on what we saw in the previous game, they depend a lot on how their solo laners execute, and I think that giving them advantageous matchups can be something really important for TAG. So I think that I really like how they draft and how much priority they give to their solo laners, and we will need to see now what they do up to, because Irelia and Camille banned right the side of Redbirds. We will have to see something new in terms of the solo lane picks, but I think that they can play, like you're saying, anything, be it double AD, double AP even, or a mixed damage. But Hecarim getting answer. Haven't seen Hecarim for a while.
Yes, another pick that's kind of moved up a little bit in popularity, the Hecarim. We saw the Udyr also come up a little bit since recent patch buffs. I actually like the Hecarim here. It's great to stop the MF ultimate. Can gap close pretty convincingly here and displace her. So it's a good pick here in the jungle, and it's a good versatile early game, mid game, late game champion here. But the response is the Echo, tried and true counter pick into that.
Really like it. Yeah, but one of the things that this Echo also gives is the possibility of flexing the Lilia, because Echo jungle is a viable option that I think a lot of teams haven't touched that much, and the Lilia solo lane is also something that you can see forward to, so it wouldn't be that bad to actually use the flex potential. But I do think that it's probably going to be Echo mid lane and Lilia jungle, and then Ornn last pick. So setting up for a good team fight potential. I think it's maybe a little bit too less of physical damage from the Misfortune if you're going to wholeheartedly depend on the Misfortune. But overall, I do think that there's good teamfight setup for the side of TAG, and if they are able to get first into the river and set up good vision for the Ornn and the Echo particularly, then they should be able to try and fight teamfights effectively, especially to try and kill the Syndra as soon as possible, because if you kill the Syndra, you can kind of kite the rest of the members out.
Yeah, and we see that set R5 coming out for Redbirds here, going into the Ornn. Super strong pick, going into the Ornn there. should be okay for the early levels, but as Orin gets some of that armor and whatnot, and if Orin is able to sidestep some of that true damage, the lane should balance out. Um, I think the one thing that we didn't really touch on thus far in terms of Team Ambition's composition is this potential sleep bullet time combination
Yeah,
here. If Lilia can hit grouped up multi-man sleep, Misfortune can bullet time right over the top of that. Bullet time does not wake up
wake up
anybody
the
who
sleep.
has been slept. Exactly. It's a great interaction and great presence of mind from TAG to pick that. At the same time, we also have the Rakan, using that quickness, grouping up members, going for that grand entrance knock up for the Misfortune ult. So there's a lot of wombo combo potential just from the first 3 picks. On the side of Redbirds, there's a lot of pick potential. You have the Thresh
Yeah.
Hook, you have the Set, you have the Syndra Stun. Both compositions have ways to get leads. It's going to be really interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah, I really like that the way the modes that both compositions kind of try to want to play around kind of go well with the champions that they picked up. So the theme is staying in place for what each team wants to play with. And I think that if they are able to execute with those kind of picks, then it's going to be favorable for either of the teams. I do like a little bit more the potential from the side of TAG, just because, like you're saying, there's so many good ways to actually get full value out of the Misfortune. And even if she gets cancelled out by the Hecarim or something else, she can still kind of try and pilot around the team fights, and you have enough CC to keep enemies down without them being able to do something else. So it can be a really nice setup for the team fight success from TAG. It's going
Yeah.
to be based a lot on what I think, or at least I think that the game will depend a lot on how the side of Redbirds will try and go for picks, particularly with the Hikarim and the Syndra. I think that said, it's mostly going to be much more isolated than the other members. I think that Ezreal will just do what he does typically and go for his items and poke potential. But the Syndra, the Hikarim, and I forgot to mention the Thresh will be the most fundamental parts for me, because if they are able to get control over a certain part and begin moving around together, like you're saying, the big potential for those champions is so good, and they can kill really effectively Misfortune, Echo, and Lydia. They are able to keep them down. Even Rakan. Rakan is not that tanky, honestly.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how Set gets value here. Usually Set has immense value in team fights from having somebody, a tanky member diving at you, you just dunk them back into the enemy team. But Orin doesn't really have that playstyle where he's like diving in at you. He has that long range engage from the Call of the Forge God. So TAGA can, oh, I said it again, TAG can definitely space properly and not give a lot of value to the Set ult. So Set's going to really have a difficult time here. Potentially we'll have to look for some flanks, maybe some flash haymakers to pull people together. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
I do think that the idea from the set may be a little bit against the Rakan, maybe much more so than the Ornn, even though Ornn probably gets much more value because of the health that you can use against the enemy team. But I think that denying the potential engage from Rakan may be what Zed will try and look forward to, so that you can have the Syndra and the Ezreal much more untouched, and that way allow for the Hikarim to get much more value out of his ultimate. But like you're saying, I think that the set is one of the most interchangeable pieces in this composition, and you can probably get much more value out of someone else.
Exactly. With that being said, we are gonna cut it to a quick break here while we wait out spectator delay. We will be back for game 2 of this best of 3 series to see if Team Ambition Glory can punch a ticket for themselves into playoff, or if Redbird Club Varsity can force a game 3 here. So just bear with us and don't click away from that browser. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back onto the Rift for Game 2 of this Best of 3 series. Sides have switched. Team Ambition Glory on the blue side taking on ISU on the red side. My name is Ivar. I am joined by TDS. You ready for this game too?
After first game, 100%, I really want to see what this time around both of these teams try to do. Although TAG has a much less early game comp, so they should try and play a little bit much more conservative in comparison to how they played the first game, but it still should be a really exciting game to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see if ISU can adapt from the mistakes that were made in the last game.
Yeah,
Looks like their composition has that damage profile, not damage profile, yeah, damage profile that they need the early game, late game, mid game, good spread across their champions. So they're not going to run into the issue they did in game one. But it all comes down
hopefully.
to execution. Yeah, hopefully, hopefully.
Hopefully. That's our hope. So I think that they do have better like there's not that much holes because even though I think Kassadin can be a good pick in some situations, the way that they went for the Kassadin pick and the disrespect that the Kassadin pick showed in the first game kind of went completely against what they were trying to do. I think that the Syndra it's a way better pick in that regard, and it can work much better earlier on for the Hecarim, and I think particularly much more so with a Hecarim jungle can be better because with Hecarim you typically want to just clear your jungle so that you can get level 6 as soon as possible. And with the Syndra being able to have the lane control, which she typically has, then it should be much more effective for the Hecarim to get level 6 soon enough.
Yeah. Just looking at some of these summoner spells and whatnot, everything looks pretty standard. We see the Conqueror opposed to the Phase Rush for Lilia here in the jungle, Cleanse being picked up from Misfortune. But everything seems pretty standard, nothing too crazy. Gonna be clearing opposite sides of the jungles here, both Lilia
Yep.
and Hecarim. So no early game action potentially here. I know I said it last time and we saw those early ganks 2v2s in the mid lane, so we'll see what
There
happens.
was an Elise, so I think
Yeah.
that this time around it's a much safer bet.
Yeah, both of these junglers are those power junglers, so they definitely want to take their time in terms of getting this
Next play.
CS here. But I do want to point out the side of Team Ambition, their starting ADC is back, when trading is back here, so maybe they might be a little bit more comfortable. Huge trade in the mid lane coming out from Neversaw. It's dodging on the scatter and proccing that electrocute, and Hecarim is here in the top side, maybe looking for a cheese gank. The pullback comes out. Flash is going to be burned out here from the Orin. Last auto comes out, but no kill being picked up, just a summoner spell. The knockup comes out from the Rakan here. They're going to try to DPS down Frank the Tank. He's
Ooh,
getting
the
pretty
kind
low.
of
Hook does not land. And there's trading on all three lanes here. Some early game action that I love to see.
yeah, but really nice gank timing on the top lane. I was talking about the potential of the Hecarim just trying to full clear. Oh wait,
Another beautiful engage coming out from Nada Go Trap. Nope,
that
yeah,
name.
that name.
Yeah, that name is good. It's good. Yeah.
Ooh. Three-man rotation coming out here onto the blue buff. They know that he didn't have the blue buff, and they know they have the prio, so they're going to try to waste his time here. And
They also
are
have
they going to be
vision
able to
here,
get
so
it?
they know if they are moving. Oh.
Yeah, Hook does come out from Frank the
But
Tank.
this, yeah, what?
He's going to get DPS down. Ignite comes out. First Blood going to be picked up with that last auto by Misfortune, and not the correct play in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm super confused about why the Thresh went for that. First of all, you don't have mid priority. You know that the Lydia is moving down, and you know that they have vision control because they you saw the ward down into the pink ward. You also know that the Hecarim, even though he has the health advantage to a certain degree, he probably is behind in terms of jungle experience to the Lydia, and the Lydia I think was level 4 at that point as well, so forcing that play overall really bad, and the Thresh just gives away a first blood that realistically should have never happened.
Nice damage trade in the top lane here.
Oh.
We see Set get some of that damage traded back. Ooh, very close to potential solo kill, but just some trading back and forth. Orin
Hecarim is coming
and
top.
yeah, Hecarim is coming top. He needs to be careful, no flash available. There's still a TP actually available for Set, so he's able to get a good back off.
Oh,
But
nice
Orin's-
timing.
Oh, beautiful Bellows Breath.
Ooh.
Gonna dodge out on that pushback here, Bernice. Just gonna look for some more trades. He knows he can't die here, so gonna look for a couple autos. Waste the time with the Hecarim here a little bit.
Yeah, but that was so well done by Bernice. He timed it at the right moment, and that's a thing that that an Earn can do against a Kerm. Oh wait, hook.
Big hook coming out from Frank the Tank. He's gonna flay it back.
Oh
The
wait,
Rakan and the Arcane Shift comes out, but Wind Trading might be caught out here. He's by himself. He doesn't have the help of his support. Ezreal has a Conqueror proc. He has his passive proc as well. Auto's coming out.
oh
Ignite. One more
yeah,
auto will get
what?
it. The flash auto comes out. The hook comes out from the Thresh Flash. Gonna be burned by the Rakan here. Never saw is here looking for a kill, but the Lantern should be available here shortly.
That is
Dark
not
Passage
how
is
that
available.
works.
Gonna try to pick up the
Oh
kill.
no.
Not enough damage on that Mystic shot here, and beautiful 2v2 play coming out from the bot lane of ISU.
Yeah, never so that's not how that works. You need to be you need to know that, please. But yeah, like you were saying, greatly played by the bottom lane. Over aggression getting punished really well. Oh wait,
That's what dive brewing
Levi's
here,
here.
and it's
Yeah,
just
but
gonna
it's
be
a 2 for
dissuaded.
2.
Yeah, so Never Saw's in the bot lane here. Misfortune is in the mid lane here. She needs to be careful. Level 4 Misfortune to a level 6 Syndra. Some potential could happen, but Syndra's rotating away towards this dragon.
Yeah, although quick thing to notice as well, just
Oh, and just as I say
She
that, the
missed.
scatter comes out. It doesn't matter. I think she has
Yeah,
the
it's
unleashed power. It's gonna come out and it's gonna pick up the kill, and that's that level 4 to level 6 I was talking about. The
yeah.
unexpected damage that ADCs don't know for the spikes of AP mages, and gets punished for it.
I think they don't much more so than don't know. They don't respect.
Yes.
Because I think that a lot of people know the potential damage from some champions, especially from some champions that are so dependent on ultimates, like the Syndra. But they just don't respect it, thinking that at level 6 it shouldn't be like that, when in reality it is.
Spot out the
Oh,
Hecarim here. Call of Forge God is
the
available.
knockup.
The knockup lands beautifully here. Call of Forge God comes out. It rings true.
Greatly played.
Wow, beautifully played from the side of Team Ambition, excuse me, here to equalize the kills, and we have a much closer game here in Game 2, coming up on the 7-minute 30-second point.
Yeah, I do think that it's completely thanks to the fact of what happened in the bottom lane. If the bottom lane doesn't get that kill, that random kill onto win trading, I think that the game is it's in a way better position for the side of TAG, because they had not only controlling the bottom lane at that point. Mid lane realistically wasn't going bad either. The Echo, it's behind in CS, yes, but it's something that does tend to happen in this kind of matchups. But as soon as he hits level 6, it kind of changes. And on the top lane, they were winning the matchup. Even though the Ornn got ganked twice, he didn't die once, and they also were able to get a kill onto the Hecarim. So I think overall, the game was able to get equalized thanks to what happened onto the bottom lane. But I still think that it's not a bad situation for TAG.
I think they still have their gold lead, like you mentioned. Dragon's still up
Yep.
here. They're getting the vision down. They're just going to play as a team, play how they played in Game 1, and make
Quick
sure they
thing,
make
actually.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this, but look at the Lydia actually. She's 36 CS over the Hecarim. That is
Yeah.
not something that you want to see in your jungle matchup. She's already level 6, and I think Hecarim is halfway to level 5.
Yeah, so they denied that entire bot side jungle of Hecarims there when on that invade. He went for that early gank in the top lane, showing that he did not have his blue buff, and the laners of Team Ambition were able to rotate there, but nonetheless, he's still able to get some XP. Oh, we see the engage coming out here, but nice arcane shift to get out of the grand entrance.
Lydia has level 6, Hikarim just think it's level 6 as well, so he can go for this, but one of the plays that they could have tried and looked for, it's trying to dive the bottom lane with the Lydia sleep, and the combo that we talked about, they can probably try and pull it off under the turret. It's much more easier to pull off there, and if they cannot sleep because of the MF ultimate, they can secure the kill much more easily.
Yeah, and the big thing here I want to point out, Dragon is spawning, and there's no TP available for this Ornn. Zed has TP, he has the wave pushed in, he can back, but engage coming out from Neversaw, and Syndra's able to use that that disengage there.
They haven't cleared that pink.
Yeah, they haven't cleared the pink, you're right.
Oh, they got the sleep?
Got the sleep, but the beautiful buffer there on the Onslaught of Shadows. Hook does come out, Nico not a trap is going to go down. We're going to see that kill being picked up by the Hecarim. Flash, beautiful flash actually coming out from Ezreal here to dodge out. Oh, never saw here. Arcane shifting forward,
Oh.
looking to push down that jungler. Is it going to be enough? No, but the stun does come out from Never Saw here. There's not enough damage behind it.
Wind trading.
Yeah, Wind trading is just going to go over the wall. Frank, the tank, is going to pick that up. Never Saw is going to try to get out of here, use his flash, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to have to use that Chrono Break to try to stay alive a little bit longer. Yeah, he's going to be dead here. Blanchard comes down for the vision, and that's 4 kills being picked up here for the side of ISU and the first dragon.
Yeah, and just like you were talking about, this is something that they knew. They had complete information about this. That has teleport, Ornn doesn't. They still try to force a play, which I'm not against trying to force a play if it's on the river and you have a clear escape route. But they fall into the trap of trying to persecute the Hecarim into the enemy jungle, and they pay the price completely. 4 kills, 0 kills in response. They get the plates on the top lane, but they lose so much, and the game that was in their favor now is falling back into the side of Redbirds, and they now have the gold lead.
Yeah, Redbirds are in control now. The Syndra has 2 kills, the Hecarim has 2 kills, and the Ezreal is scaling pretty well. So it's
Yep.
definitely they're in control right now. I think the shining light for the side of Team Ambition here is their jungler is up immense amount of CS, and their top laner as well.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things, and obviously against a Hecarim, a jungler that is really dependent on levels and items, I think that being able to be ahead of him and keeping him behind, it's one of the main ways to try and win this game.
Yeah. I think they need to play towards this top side a little bit, the side of Team Ambition, play through this Ornn. Also, I think if Echo's able to, get something going for himself, he's a very oppressive champion, especially into the composition that ISU has. So that's the pressure points they need to focus. I think on the side of ISU, you need to ooh! Scatter comes out. Never Saw is really low, doesn't have that Chrono Break available. Trying to play with fire a little bit.
He's just back and teleport back. He has a teleport, so it's not like he cannot make use of it. But
Yeah.
he is staying more. Okay, the Syndra kind of went away.
Ooh, tags the center here. Call of the Forge God is available. Call of the Forge God has come out. Rakan's on the other
Nice
side.
flash.
Does not land. Beautiful flash, but the flash auto comes out, and the engage from Rakan is beautiful. Shutdown going to be picked up by Neversaw. That's one of the kills I was talking about. Sleep comes out. Onslaught of Shadow is going to be used. They're going to donate that kill over to the Echo. Double kill going to be picked up. Bullet time going to be used to clear the wave here. Flash does come out from the Misfortune to dodge out on that hook, and it's going to be 2 kills picked up for the Echo, and just like that, shut down on the Echo.
Yeah, completely important flash down there on the bottom lane. Oh wait, Bernice.
We go in here, gonna have the pullback coming out from the set.
This is a level lead.
Yeah, he has a level lead, he has a CS lead, he has the gold lead, has the kill lead. He's in control of this top lane. But some plates being picked up for the side of ISU in the bot lane now.
You know, that with this at least, this wave getting pushed, you have to back here and leave the plates down if that's the case. But the play in the mid lane, I really like it. We talked about playing around the Ornn, but there's something that Ornn is able and allowed to do. It's moving around the map and utilizing the ultimate to try and engage. He baits out the flash out of the Syndra, and with the movement from the Rakan as well, they get such a nice play setup to kill the Syndra, give a kill to the Echo. I'm not sure if it was a shutdown. I don't think it was, but they still get the kill, and they also get the kill onto the Hecarim and double buffs onto the Echo, which now just is smart.
Yeah, the Echo's kind of equalized his discrepancy that he had in the mid lane after that play. So he's not behind anymore, and he is a direct counter to the Syndra. Syndra can't use that unleashed power when Chrono Break is up. Can't use that scatter because of Echo's E. So he's good. He's good in this lane. And as he moves to the side lane here, ooh, potential fight brewing down here. Misfortune needs to be careful, but the engage comes out. Gale Force is going to be used. Charm's going to be used here as well. Auto's not enough, but Misfortune might be caught out here. There's an engage coming out. TP comes out from the Syndra. Unleashed Power comes out into the scatter, and the Arcane, Mystic Shot's going to pick that kill up for the Ezreal. So 1 kill being picked up for the side of ISU. Dragon spawning here in a minute. They could use this kill to try to get down some vision.
Yeah, but look at the bright side in terms of what TAG. Oh wait,
All the forge guard going to be used here.
Oh,
Is
nice
he gonna?
ulti.
Ooh, beautiful buffer here to stop that. But Bella's breath comes
Oh,
out, sidesteps
Bernice
the true
wins.
damage. Bernie should win this. Has the Bella's breath and the Q available here shortly. Last one auto comes out, the searing charge comes out, Facebreaker comes out, the Bella breath to dodge it. The damage comes out. Solo Bolo in the top lane for the Orin.
Yeah, people forget this because Ornn hasn't been picked that much, but Ornn is the champion that is everything and everyone hates because he can do everything that everyone can do. It's so great. I love Ornn, honestly. I think that Ornn should get much more playtime, and Bernice played that really well. Even though the ultimate gets cancelled, he still gets the knockup as well as the Bellow's breath to get the damage down. He sidesteps onto the Haymaker to not get the full front of the damage from the Haymaker, and then also gets the trade. Even Bait gets the flashed out of the set without having himself flash. It was so well played.
Yeah, and you see here, the side of Team Ambition are down in kills, but they're up in gold. Aggressive Arcane Shift coming out from Ezreal, not knowing who's in that bush.
I
But
do think he knew that the Lydia and the Rakan couldn't be at there because he saw them previously, but yeah, aggressive Arcane Shift, but he still has the Thresh in close proximity, so having that potential Lantern to be safe even if you miss position is something really good for the Ezreal.
yeah, so there's a potential fight brewing here for this
Oh,
dragon. Ooh, Searing Charge
potential?
is not gonna ring true, but the stun does come out. Ezreal's gonna use his ultimate over the top here. Scatter does not land. Looks like the Hecarim's looking for something aggressive here. Onslaught of Shadows is available. Ezreal's gonna DPS down the
Sleep.
over the wall. Sleep comes out into the bullet time. It's only landing onto Thresh, but it doesn't matter.
He didn't
Thresh is
even
gonna go
keep
down.
the Thresh.
Yeah, Thresh goes down. The L4 is gonna be used on the top side of the fight here. It looks
Oh,
like
Echo stun.
Ursaw is gonna go in and pick up a beautiful two-man stun into a kill. Double kill gonna be picked up for the Misfortune as well. And like you said, the man that does
This sword.
everything, or just assassinating Syndra on the backline. And is he gonna be able to pick up the trade kill? He does go down. Wind trading does go down to the last auto from the dragon, and Ezreal Arcane shifts forward for that one trade
I'm
kill,
really
but it's
mad.
it's a 5 for 1, excuse me, ace being picked up by the side of Team Ambition, and they just blow this goal lead wide open.
Yeah, in a teamfight setup that they had prepared really well. If you look previously, we were talking about them getting the side of Redbirds getting control of vision or wait teleport from the set.
TP from the set, trying to stop this dragon, it looks like, and it's actually gonna work. The jungler
Echo?
is pretty squishy. Echo needs to be careful. Does not have a lot of mana here to work with. Gonna use
He
that
does
Portal
have
Belt.
blue though.
Time Winder's coming out. See the ultimate coming out. Onside of Shadow is going to be used into Neversaw. Neversaw is going to be able to get over the wall to
ulti.
safety. Or an ulti comes out, but it's going to just be
fails!
used as a disengage. He fails it. And that's what happens when you're close to a wall. Sometimes that second detonation doesn't go off, but they're going to be able to get out safely here. Dragon is coming up. Bullet time is
wait.
not available here. Scatter comes out and unleash
Wait, are you
power.
there still?
And yeah, one kill given back and the second dragon, and just like that, the side of ISU strike back, getting the dragon for themselves and potentially even a tower here in the bot lane. Even
A
in the
kill
bot lane, excuse me,
potentially?
a kill in the bot lane.
Oh.
What did I say, tower? But we
They may get the turret though because of the Ezreal pushing out the Misfortune. They may get this turret, but the side of TAG still gets the first turret in the top lane, so it's not the worst of situations. I think it's much worse the fact that they tried to stay for way too long and gave advantages that weren't necessary because, okay, you may lose the dragon. Yes, it's bad, but it's not the worst of situations. It's just the second dragon of the game. It's not like you're losing the game if you give away this dragon, but instead they give a couple of kills away that are actually influential, and I think they even get the shutdown onto the Echo, which I think it's much worse.
how do they kill this Orin? I'm looking at
Wait,
him. He's
3
2
level
items.
did?
He's 3 level difference. We do see the Onslaught of Shadows potentially coming out here. It's not
He's
actually
here alone,
available.
though.
He's here alone in a 1v2. He uses the Bella's
He
Breath
win.
here. One more auto, he picks up a kill. That's a 4-0 Orin here. Going for another kill. He's going to look to assassinate the Hecarim, and he does pick up the kill. The double solo bolo in the top lane coming out for the Orin. And just like I mentioned, how do you kill this Orin? You have... Your constant DPS is all attack damage. You have burst coming out from Syndra, who does not have the Leandries, and you have to deal with a 505 Orin who already has Sunfire, Tabbies, and Thornmail. I don't know how they deal with it now.
Yeah, you have to pray. You have to. That's it. That's the only thing that I can think of. I think that, being honest here, I think that Ezreal is going to be fundamental in trying to stop the Ornn because he has the Sunder. So he's going to be the main way to try and get that damage down. I do think that It's surprising to see the Hecarim not having this defined Sunder himself. I think that. Oh wait, did they lost? Okay, no. I was
They're
thinking, did
secured.
Ezreal stole it? Yeah.
No, it's the problem is Ezreal has the Sundra, but he can't realistically
Yeah.
kill this Ornn until he has his Shrodas, and he's so far away from that I don't think he's going to be able to get that
It's
item in
at
time.
least 12 minutes. 12 minutes more, I think.
Yeah, and
If he farms well enough and he doesn't die, it's 12 minutes, I think. Oh, wait.
nice scatter, but instant cleanse coming
Oh.
out from Wind Training gonna not go down there, but Unleash Power comes out, and Rakan's gonna live as well.
Yeah, that's the only way that is also another way that the Ezreal may be much more of an impact if he can keep on getting those kills consistently. Misfortune is stepping out. Okay, no, lately it was there, but yeah, if Ezreal can keep on getting those advantages onto the enemy bottom lane or an extra kill, that is the only other way that I see it. This is what I'm saying, that it's kind of surprising that the Hecarim didn't went for the Sunder, because he doesn't need the extra damage from the Triforce to get the kills onto the Misfortune or onto the Echo. Like, I think that you get it, you have enough damage to burst out those targets down. It's much more useful against the Ornn, and we are seeing the fact that they may be missing some damage against this Ornn with the fact that they don't have that extra Sunder from the Hecarim.
Yeah, the Sunder not on the Hecarim is fundamental here. I definitely don't think Trinity Force is the way to go, and I think he was building it earlier because they had that early game lead, but you still have to itemize against what the champions are going to do if they're ahead on the enemy team. But I don't know.
It's kind of in the same way that you discuss if the Ezreal should go for Trinity Force or Sunder. I think that it's still situational. Like, this game, it's completely much more useful to have the Sunder, because you get maybe you don't get that extra damage to burst out a target like the Misfortune, but you still deal enough consistent damage to be able to kill her with the Sunder. It's the fact that you can now deal with the Ornn that it makes the Sunder better in these kind of games.
Yeah, and once this Ornn gets this Abyssal Mask and goes for that fourth item, I'm assuming it's going to be that Gargoyle Stone Plate, he's going to be a huge problem. And you talked about that 12 minutes a little bit ago. In 12 minutes, Ornn's going to have more armor, so it's going to get even harder to deal with. So it's this ticking time bomb for the side of Team Ambition has on their side, where if they just play towards this Ornn, let him split push, let him get these levels, let him get these ornaments onto his teammates, this game should be theirs.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In 12 minutes, like you're saying, is in 12 minutes he gets tankier, but in 12 minutes he also makes his teammates stronger. So
Yes.
it's like a situation where even if you are able to take down the Ornn, can you take down the rest of the members as well that are slowly but surely getting strong as well? Like, Diego has 2 items. It's not maybe they are not the strongest of items yet, but it is 2 items, and he does get Diego got the ornament, so that means that he's stronger than he would be normally. And it's going to be risky for the Syndra and the Ezreal try and now play around this Echo if they are not careful enough.
Yeah, potential dragon fight brewing here. Kind of interested to see how both teams approach this here. I think that if the side of ISU die here, this is Dragon and Baron and potentially more. But we see the early TP coming out from Syndra here into lane. Set has a TP as well. Ooh, Naka does not ring true. We do see the Dark Passage there. The Dragon's going to be picked up. No contest. Hook does come out onto the Ornn, but I think the side of Team Ambition want to look for this fight. Yeah, California's going to come out. Beautiful knock up and instantly deletion here. We do see the sleep coming out now onto 2 members of Gale Force coming out from the Misfortune. That's going to be 3 kills picked up instantly. Double kill picked up for Neversaw. This Echo still has the ultimate available. Going to look for more here, but this Baron can be picked up now too.
Yeah, they have. I think that with the Lilian, the Misfortune, especially with this build, they have enough damage to be able to take it down. Also, the Hecarim was forced to back because of how low health he has. So I don't think he will have enough time to come back. And like you're saying, the Echo's setting up a trap in case the Hecarim tries to come through here. But what a teamfight win from the side of Redbird.
For the Ezreal potentially. Ezreal's going to get DPS down here. Rakan's going to come out. They're going to look for the knockup. They do not get it. Chrono Break has to be used, but they do get the summoners from Ezreal here. But Baron is going to be secured, and it looks like the side of Team Ambition just recall here, spend their money, and come back and look to end the game.
Yeah, that seems like the play, even though although they can also look to try and set up a 4-1 in putting the Ornn in the mid lane and the Echo on the side lane, and realistically, I don't think that the set right now can respond that effectively against the Echo, and the Syndra, if she tries to go 1v1 against the Echo with 2 items, she can just maybe spelling her death, so it would be a much more intricate and easier way to pull off the game in case they do want to try and finish and not just brute forcing through mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. Um, just like we talked about, they spent their money. They're coming back on the map now here. Have that Baron buff. I like that they're sending the Echo for the split push now. They know the Echo is going to be able to get these towers pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They know that if Orin is here to frontline for his team, he could just walk up and take towers just like
He
he's
doesn't
doing here.
care.
Um, yeah, it's tough.
Like if they are able to buy themselves more time, which it makes it seems obvious if they are able to buy themselves time that they get gold and experience that can be used to win this game, but they need to be able to know what losses they are able to give away and what they cannot give away. So for example, I think that they can give away the mid lane inhibitor. I think that that's the best inhibitor to give away because it's the easiest to protect, but they cannot give the inhibitor from bottom lane. And I do think that they can give away these turrets as well as the top lane turret. They cannot give the inhibitor from bot lane nor the inhibitor from top lane. I think that those two they need to protect them because those two are the longest distance from the objectives, and it's harder to protect those two. So I think that if they can give away those kind of small advantages away,
Scatter buffer, but the cleanse is available. He's going to use the cleanse, use the Gale Force to get to safety, and you were finishing your point. Sorry.
yeah, just to quickly finish it, I think that if they are able to understand what advantages they can give away, they can buy themselves enough good time so that they can try and come back into this game. Karim, I'm not sure
Look for
about
something
this.
here. Gonna get knocked up. There's a lot of damage that Lilia has. 3-man sleep is gonna come out here. Nice flash coming out from the Cinder. Not gonna get caught in that bullet time, but it doesn't matter. Damage was done. Flashes the scatter there. Triple kill, double kill gonna be picked up. Excuse me for the misfortune. And while all this is going on, towers are dropping. Tower in the bot lane goes down. They're gonna siege up this mid lane and look to try to get this inhibitor now too as well.
Yeah, and also like this went completely against what I was trying to set up for them. Like they went look at Sam tried to go for a really aggressive play, trying to run on top of the misfortune. You blow the cleanse and the Gale Force already. You don't need to overcommit like that. You were doing a really nice job, but he goes in still. Gets killed immediately. Really nice response by Lucky Martis on the Lydia. Gets the 3-man sleep, and it's such an easy teamfight to win. And this is also something that I missed to add. Oh wait, Bernice
Coming out. And this is where they can potentially kill the Orin because the tower debuff is on him. He's getting his stats nullified here. He's going to get out of the tower. He is very tanky. Call the Force God comes out and he's going to
Still has flash.
He's going to flash away, but one kill was picked up. He doesn't go down yet. Never saw he's going to go in here. Probably sacrifice himself to keep that shutdown. I think even Misfortune is going to get picked up. Arcane Shift is available. He's going to go forward. Mystic Shot rings true. Auto comes out. One more auto comes out. Shutdown going to be picked up by the Ezreal here. And
but the Raid Boss is alive.
Yeah, Raid Boss is still alive, correct.
He's still alive. I think that the Everso wanted to try and, like you're saying, dissuade the attempt to kill the Ornn, but also to buy enough time to use ultimate and then run away. But he got perfectly CC'd, so he didn't have the opportunity to run away and instead pulled off a Jensen. So really unlucky for him, but at least the Ornn doesn't die and he has teleport, so in 13 seconds he comes back and just comes here to try and fight for the Drake or try and pick off anyone that is trying to look to fight the side of TAG.
Yeah. This Dragon's gonna be picked up for Team Ambition here. They're just, dotting their I's, crossing their T's, playing the map now. They know they're in control. It's their game to lose. They just need to focus together as a team, focus down this bot tower, I believe. I think that's the last pressure point. You group as 5 bot lane, then just look to siege this tower down with the Misfortune ult, with the Lilia, and once you get that, this game's pretty much done in my opinion.
Yeah, they have everything to maybe not like the last game, but they certainly have enough pieces to just be able to pull this game up. Like 2 super minion lanes, if they can take them in the way that they need to, then they can just set up so that the waves will be crashing as they are crashing in the bottom lane turret. It doesn't seem like they are doing that right now, but but if they are able to at least have 1 super minion wave, they can just take it slowly and be able to close out this game. I think you're saying the setup with the Misfortune and the Lydia should be able to pull through, but the Misfortune is far away still.
Yeah, they could just look to dive this if I'm being completely honest.
Or he's 3 levels ahead of this side. I just noticed this. He's level 16 already.
Yeah, he's been 3 levels ahead all game. I feel like.
That is
Ooh,
true.
nice two-man scatter, but there's no follow-up on there. Trishak Raj comes
Oh,
out. Two-man sleep
Ezreal.
potentially. Yeah, two-man sleep
You
coming out.
messed
He's
up.
going to use the Arcane Shift, but the beautiful quickness coming out from Rakan, grouping everybody up here. They're going to try to DPS down. The
And
set is going to get focused. Set's going to go down. On the backside, we see Lilia chasing down the Akram. The burn comes out. Akram's going to go down. Neversaw goes in, picks up that kill onto Syndra, and this is going to be the last kill being picked up. Clean Ace going to be picked up for Team Ambition Glory, focusing down these Nexus turrets now and punching themselves a ticket into playoffs.
yep, complete and wholehearted congratulations to Team Ambition. I want to say Team Ambition Gold.
Sorry.
Like completely deserved. They played these 2 games so effectively. The first game was much more dominant than this one, but they still played so well. I do gotta say, Bernice to me played 2 amazing games. One as a strong side and one as a weak side, and he still was able to win both games. Seemed like such an unstoppable force. And in this game particularly, we saw it. He's the mage, assassin, tank, bruiser, druid, healer, everything. He's everything.
Yeah, tank, mage, support, bruiser, assassin, fighter, DPS, burst, everything.
Monk.
And those damage charts show it there, man.
Yep.
Highest damage in the game. He did the same thing in game one here. So for me, I believe that is the player of the series, without a doubt.
Yeah. Certainly delivering and giving the ticket to playoffs for the side of TAG. Really glad that they were able to make it at the end, even though it was close. Really unlucky for Redbirds. I think that they have a good chance. They had a chance to be able to make it through. I think that this second game could have been much closer than it actually showed. And I think that if they were able to shut down the Ornn a little bit earlier, maybe they would have been able to play around. But I think that the Ornn was such a menace before when they wanted to try and do anything, that it was already too late and they couldn't do anything anymore.
Yeah. Um, with that being said, anything else to add, TDS, before I sign us out?
Congratulations to TAG. Redbirds come back next season stronger, and I'm hopeful that you guys will be able to pull the playoffs next time. And to teams in playoffs, good luck. I'm going to be back next week to cast some of you guys, so it's going to be fun. And we will see what is going to happen.
Yeah. With that being said, we are going to end the stream here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be back Wednesday for extracurricular activities where we will be announcing All-Stars, so make sure to tune into that. My name is Ivar. I was joined by TDS on cast, PVS on production. Make sure to drop a follow our Twitter, join the Discord, everything down there. We appreciate the support, everybody, and we will be back on Wednesday, like previously mentioned. Enjoy the rest of your night.